Today we want to discuss just what is reality and all the ideas of energy, consciousness, science, fantasy, etc. Just what is reality?
And so the psychical events are facts, are realities. And when you observe the stream of images within, you observe an aspect of the world within.
The psychic events, the fantasies, the dreams, they have a reality because they affect us. And just what about our normal reality?
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Our normal senses give us a perspective of the world, but we do not experience the world directly.
When you observe the world, you see people, you see houses, you see the sky, you see tangible objects. But when you observe yourself within, you see moving images, a world of images.
See, reality is merely an illusion, but a very persistent illusion. And it's a collection of different things that come in from our senses, our science, our philosophy. And we put this all together, and we come up with an idea of reality based on beliefs and etc. And also there is a part of it based in the fantasy.
Yet these fantasies are facts. You see, it is a fact that a man has such and such a fantasy. And it is such a tangible fact, for instance, that when a man has a certain fantasy, another man may lose his life.
Yes, there is a reality to fantasies that make and drive people into doing things. And it is based on an idea of how they perceive their inner world. And all of reality is done through perception of our inner world.
Or a bridge is built. These houses were all fantasies. Everything you do here, all of the houses, everything was fantasy to begin with. And fantasy has a proper reality. That is not to be forgotten. Fantasy is not nothing.
The reality of fantasy has crept into our lives in so many ways. And certain times people want to try to ignore this, but this is something we can't really ignore, because fantasy is part of our reality.
It is, of course, not a tangible object, but it is a fact nevertheless. It is, say, a form of energy, despite the fact we can't measure it. It is a manifestation of something.
Is it really so hard to believe?
All of our senses can lie to you. They seem that each one of our senses can be fooled. So we have to understand that we really have to not base our entire perception solely on our senses. We have to understand our ideas of reality come from a perception that the sensory data comes into our mind for us to react with. And now we must expand our ideas of senses to include the electrosense, quantum entwinement, ESP. We have to understand that there are more ideas of perception through our senses, and yet all of these things can be fooled, because what we really are is energy. We are a vast quantity of electrons, and we have no real mass. The perception that we are solid is a lie. It is a misperception. It is not true. What we are is an energy state, a collective energy state that sees and feels things and makes our belief structure into a reality.
We live on one level of existence, but there are others. These hidden dimensions of reality are everywhere, far away, across the light years, beneath our feet, and even inside you and me. We are made of atoms.
Yes, a vast, vast quantity of atoms and electrons and protons, but actually we are not solid mass. That's just an illusion. What we are is a sensory unit of consciousness.
The miraculous thing that happens is that information, the information that's coming through photons, through light, the information that's coming through sound, and all the other information that we are receiving through the senses, that information, the whole field of information out there, sets up another pattern of information in the brain. This complex information field out there sets up another corresponding information pattern in the brain, complex information pattern. But it's all based upon our experience. So in a way, there's two realities. There's the reality of our experience, and then there's what I call the reality out there, the physical reality that science is trying to understand. And what is fascinating is it turns out the two are completely different. I mean, right now we think the world out there is as you see it, with the color, the sound, the sensations, the touch, the solidness. But the more that we look into what the actual physical world is like, it's nothing at all like our experience.
So dreams, reality, which is which? Where do we draw the line? Do we have idea of fantasy, science? All of these things work into what really, truly we are. Perception and inspiration, meditation, calculation. All of these things come into together to construct our belief systems and to give us ideas of just who and what we are, a collective entwined unconscious, gone through the school of hard knocks. Because all of this comes together, and we have people who believe in more of the reality and people who believe in more of the fantasy and the meditation. But what we truly are is a body, electric, and a set of energy fields. The energy fields extend way beyond the actual physical boundaries of what we touch and feel on the hard body, which is not really a hard body. It's actually just an illusion. So everything about us has some illusionary state that comes in to blend to a type of reality that we really do not truly perceive. When we get into a deep meditation state, we can become at a type of oneness with the universe and get a small glimpse of just what we are. And we could get an idea of the infinite and the infinitesimal reflected in the consciousness of the moment. And what we are is an energy state. And it's wrong for us to be able to take away somebody else's ideas or beliefs. We need to be able to tolerate others' beliefs, but we have to tolerate our own belief more, because we have to respect our own beliefs more. But we have to open our minds to ideas of reality and open our minds to ideas of what we are as a group of people on this planet. And then we could get a better idea of how we can work together, share and care, and work together. Because what we are truly is not one type of reality. We have to recognize that the wants, desires, beliefs of another matter. They have a reality to that person. And we must be able to recognize that certain people are psychopaths. We cannot give into their ideas. We have to find a way to resist them, because an inner reality to what might result in hurting another. So we have to be able to recognize and build a good quality idea of reality and build an idea of who we truly are, because what we are as human beings is a collection of energy. Meditation, fantasy, perception, dreams, that all blend into our reality, making us human.